the Bloodline has once again made a significant impact, leaving not only the WWE Universe but also the entire locker room in a state of shock and apprehension. Their actions at WWE Backlash 2025 were far from a routine title defense or a standard post-match assault. They represented a pivotal evolution in the faction's trajectory. Roman Reigns, the architect behind this transformation, orchestrated a strategic move that has redefined the power dynamics within WWE. With the introduction of Jeff Cobb, the Bloodline has not only returned but has become more formidable than ever before. For weeks leading up to Backlash, there were murmurs and speculations backstage about Roman Reigns' next move. Having taken a step back from his dominant weekly presence, questions arose regarding the future leadership of the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa emerged as a cold and ruthless figure, asserting his authority, while Fatu captured the United States Championship, showcasing his prowess. Despite these developments, there was a palpable sense that something was missing. A figure who could embody the enforcer role, delivering destruction with every move. This void has now been filled, and it has sent ripples of unease throughout the WWE landscape. Backlash 2025 was already charged with anticipation. The event featured a stacked card with titles on the line, and the fans were vociferous in their support. Amidst this electrifying atmosphere stood Fatu, a competitor known for his brutal and no-nonsense approach. Entering the arena with the United States title draped over his shoulder, Fatu faced formidable challengers. Each move he executed was countered, and every strike he delivered was met with equal force. The momentum seemed to be slipping away, and the audience could sense the impending shift. Suddenly, the arena lights dimmed, and the energy shifted dramatically. The screens went black before flickering with a familiar symbol. When Roman Reigns' entrance music resonated through the venue, the reaction was explosive. The tribal chief emerged with his characteristic cold and calculating demeanor, exuding purpose with every step. Behind him was Solo Sikoa, his expression unreadable, fists clenched, ready for confrontation. However, it was the third figure that drew gasps from the crowd. A towering, powerful, and intimidating presence. Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb's arrival was not merely a surprise. It was a calculated tactical maneuver. This was not just an addition to the Bloodline. It was a strategic chess move by Roman Reigns to alter the game's dynamics. As the match reached a critical juncture and Fatu appeared on the verge of collapse under the weight of his opponents, Reigns stood at ringside, silent and motionless. Then, with a subtle nod, Jeff Cobb sprang into action. He stormed the ring with terrifying speed and force, launching a series of suplexes that left the opposition decimated. Solo Sikoa followed with his signature Samoan spike, incapacitating another challenger. In the aftermath, the ring was littered with bodies, and Fatu seized the moment to execute his signature moonsault, securing the victory. TPWW, however, the true narrative was not the title retention but the message conveyed. This was not a mere interference. It was a declaration of dominance. Roman Reigns did not just reinforce the Bloodline's grip on gold. He fortified it with steel, muscle, and legacy. Jeff Cobb is not a hired hand. He is Samoan, legitimate, and now an integral part of the Bloodline. For those unfamiliar with Jeff Cobb's background, he is a former Olympian and a powerhouse who has dominated wrestling rings in Japan and beyond. He has earned a reputation as one of the toughest and most feared athletes globally. Now, under Roman Reigns' direct control, he brings his formidable resume to WWE. Reports from backstage indicate that this was not a last-minute decision. Reigns had been observing, calculating, and identifying the cracks forming within the Bloodline. He recognized the mounting pressure on Solo Sikoa and the vulnerability of Fatu. In response, he made a decisive move to secure the faction's future. The timing of Reigns' return was no coincidence. He allowed the chaos to unfold for weeks, waiting for the opportune moment to unleash his plan. Backlash was that moment. With Jeff Cobb now aligned with the Bloodline, the power structure of WWE has shifted once again. Every faction, champion, and potential challenger must now contend with this new, formidable force. The Times of India +1 build +1 speculation abounds regarding Jeff Cobb's role within the Bloodline. Is he merely an enforcer, Or is he being groomed for a more significant position? Some suggest that Cobb could be the next tribal heir. Roman Reigns has previously spoken about legacy and the importance of passing the torch to someone worthy. After Backlash, Cobb appears to embody the qualities necessary for such a role. He possesses the lineage, the physicality, and now, the backing of the Bloodline. Cobb's arrival also raises questions about Solo Sikoa's leadership. What does this mean for his position within the faction? Is there a potential power struggle on the horizon? Or is Sikoa in full agreement with Reigns' decision? The dynamic between Solo, Cobb, and Fatu is poised to define the next chapter of the Bloodline saga. As fans, we are witnessing the pieces falling into place for a compelling narrative point. One thing is certain. Jeff Cobb's introduction to the WWE Universe was unforgettable. His display of destruction, power, and presence has elevated the Bloodline from a family to an empire. Insiders reveal that Cobb was personally selected by Reigns, emphasizing the strategic nature of this decision. As Reigns transitions into a more godfather-like role within the group, Cobb's sudden emergence makes perfect sense. He is not just here to protect the gold. He is here to carry the legacy, enforce the will of the tribal chief, and potentially ascend to a more prominent position. The wrestling world is now contemplating whether Jeff Cobb could be the next leader of the Bloodline. With Solo Sikoa asserting his dominance and Jacob Fatu holding gold, Cobb's addition introduces a new layer of complexity to the faction's power dynamics. This calculated chaos is precisely what Reigns desires: control through fear and unity through power. With Cobb by their side, the Bloodline appears unstoppable. What transpired at Backlash was not a one-time alliance. It marked the beginning of something far more dangerous. The Bloodline is not fading. They are evolving, recruiting formidable individuals, and reminding everyone that they still have plenty of fight left. The message has been sent loud and clear. The Bloodline is back on top, and this time they have brought a monster with them.